on seat sharing, a common agenda, or even a common logo to represent themselves. The meeting in Mumbai shall be crucial to the future and fate of this alliance. Key political players within this opposition alliance have downplayed the question of leadership. Expectedly so, it is the most troublesome question for the alliance to answer. But even if the leadership question is put aside, can the polar opposite political ideologies, seemingly united under this alliance, really forge real agreements on seat sharing? Will the individual political ambitions trump the opposition unity, quote unquote? Can this alliance really shape a formidable opposition that can offer a real alternative to a billion-plus Indians ahead of 2024? All these questions are focused on Viewpoint tonight.
पूरे कांग्रेस की आज से नहीं पहले से सबकी मांग भी रही है और मेरी निजी सोच भी है कि राहुल गांधी जी को अब आगे आकर हमारा चेहरा बनना चाहिए प्रधानमंत्री के पद के लिए।
मुझसे पूछेंगे एज अ स्पोक्स पर्सन तो निश्चित तौर पर मैं भी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का नाम आगे रखूंगी। उन्होंने लगातार जनता के मुद्दे उठाए हैं, लगातार जनता के बीच में गए हैं, एक ऐसा मॉडल दिया है जिसमें सबसे कम महंगाई है पूरे देश में, दिल्ली देश की राजधानी होने के बावजूद एक ऐसा मॉडल दिया है जहां पर टैक्स कलेक्शन करके वही टैक्स का पैसा अपने नागरिकों पर खर्चा किया है अरविंद केजरीवाल सरकार ने।
प्रियंका कक्कड़ सिंह, अरविंद केजरीवाल, प्रियंका चतुर्वेदी सिंह, उद्धव ठाकरे जी। So we have seen the major moot point here is this: there are 38 party alliance in the NDA. Besides the BJP, can the 37 parties, any 37 members say, "Mera leader Pradhan Mantri"? They can't do it. That's a sense of fear.
It's proven. These people have no mission or vision for the country like Prime Minister Modi, who is taking the economy from 10th to 5th spot and now to 3rd spot, doubled the per capita income, quadrupled the middle class income, built infrastructure.
The United Opposition project and the key criticisms around it. Is there really any substance to all the criticisms that have been offered? Can this perplexing question of leadership really be answered by this alliance? All those questions. Joining us, our guest tonight, Shaina NC, who's the spokesperson of the BJP, Ashpreet Karyal from the Congress Party, Riju Datta, who's the spokesperson of TMC, and Mr. Krishna Hegde from Shiv Sena. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Shaina ji, through the day we have heard various statements coming in from the opposition leaders, including Shiv Sena, Mr. Sharad Pawar. We have also heard Mr. Uddhav Thackeray talking about this. Various political parties have spoken on this issue. And it seems like that the opposition camp thinks that the question of leadership is not the most pertinent or the immediate one that needs to be answered. They believe an issue-based approach can be taken and they can counter the narrative of the BJP. You are overplaying. BJP is overplaying the question of leadership because there are no real alternatives within the BJP or there is no healthy competition within the BJP. That's what Priyanka Chaturvedi said. Just some time ago, we played that bite as well. Your thoughts on those, statements that have come in the public domain?
Anusha, firstly, we need to know what the I.N.D.I.A stands for. Do we want a strong opposition? Every democracy and opposition is required. But do you want an opposition that has tremors before and where the earthquake has happened even before the event has taken place? That's a question that the voter will answer. What do voters of India vote for? They vote for stability. They vote for strong leadership. They vote for a vision plan, and most importantly, they vote for political will. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has not just shown that there is here a progressive NDA which has worked tirelessly for 10 years, has shown on ground, be it infrastructure projects, be it Jan Dhan, Mudra Banking, Ujjwala, Fasal Bima Yojana, Ayushman Bharat, Awas Yojana, the list is endless, and this is all trial and tested. Fortunately, today in the 21st century is the politics of performance. People have gone beyond this Jat Paat Dharm ki Rajniti. What unifying force are you talking about? They don't even know who their leader is. And when you have so many small splinter parties coming together with no agenda, Forget us. I don't even think the voter will accept this.
You know,
And if
I'm
you
just
want to
trying,
look at
I'm
it
just trying
holistically,
to
look at
add
the
more layers
statistics
and
of
more
previous
more
elections.
meat to this discussion as we take it forward. Shanaji, we've had this debate on Viewpoint for the last 2-3 days, and the repeated narrative that I've heard from the opposition parties, including Ashpreet, is also with us on the broadcast, is the fact that inflation is an issue, unemployment is an issue, according to the opposition parties. There are various issues pertaining to development on which the BJP has not delivered, and these parties are coming together to highlight those particular issues. Because BJP does not want a debate on an issue-by-issue basis, that is why they are overplaying this question of leadership. Answer that question head on.
I will take this question head on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will not just sweep 2024, but will be here on the agenda of development only. This is an alliance of the corrupt. There is no ideology. They have failed before they've started, and sadly, you have a ship which has sunk because there is nobody to sail them through. You talk about a soldier. Well, where does a soldier fight? A soldier fights when it has a united army. Here there is no army. There is no vision. And what is your vision for India? I ask and I plead and I say that if you don't have a common minimum agenda, you don't know what you're going to head to the voter with, you have doomed before you started. So please do understand, meeting after meeting, you look at Patna, what happened, you look at the current so-called hype for Mumbai. I want to only say that if you are here for performance, then the voter will welcome you. Prime Minister Modi has not just done India proud, he has done Indians proud world over.
Okay, Ashpreet,
he has done our economy proud, and you can keep
I want to take the argument forward from what we've discussed. Shaina has made one point in the last 4 minutes that she's spoken, that people depend on their leaders for a lot of things, and dependability in Indian politics today is a huge factor. For dependability, and especially in today's time, with the kind of vigor with which the BJP has projected Prime Minister as he's going to be the leader for the next general elections as well, and his track record in the last two terms, it is evidently clear that the question will boil down to leadership, and I'll tell you why. Issue by issue based discussion is fantastic for a democracy. It must happen. That's not my argument. My argument is that when you go to the voters, other than the economics of it, other than the financials of it, there is a strong emotive appeal under which each voter in this country really casts their ballot. From that point of view, do you really have a face that you can offer to the people of this country? I mean, let alone your alliance partners. Would you really have some kind of agreement on it? I don't think the alliance can skirt the question of leadership for far too long, is my argument. Ashpreet.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, the credit for the Alliance India goes to anyone. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party and Mr. Modi. Their turning of democracy into dictatorship has brought all the opposition parties together and has united the country of 140 crore people together against the Bharatiya Janata Party. So thank you to them. Number two, the reason as to why everybody has come together on one single platform is to save India, is to save the people of India, and is to save India's democracy. That's being obliterated by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, the fact of the matter is they have been posing this question again and again, and I've already answered them, that we happen to be living in a parliamentary form of government, not a presidential form of government. Now, we do realize that the Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't really understand the constitution well, and that's why they have different perceptions and perspectives about this. But unlike the BJP, we do not impose decisions as to who the prime ministerial face is going to be upon everyone. We decide it collectively with a consensus. And the Bharatiya Janata Party shoves it down the throat of their leaders, of their workers, and dissent is unconstitutional for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And I like to ask...
Ashpreet, that makes a great argument for a TV debate, and I give that to you. But in reality, in substance, it boils down to the issue of leadership and how a particular leader can keep the flock together. This flock definitely needs a leader that can keep it together. So what you have said so far is great for a TV debate, but it has not answered it on the substance of it. You do need a face to go to the people. And right now, with the conflicting ambitions of various regional satraps, Rahul Gandhi being touted by the Congress party in unofficial ways, quote unquote, I mean, it is a clear competition which is out there. And with that competition, that takes me to the second point. Can you really have a seat sharing agreement?
100%. There will be a seat sharing agreement. There will be a common minimum program. Everything would be delivered on and before time. Number two, as far as your, the question is concerned, who's going to be the PM face? And do you have the leaders? Let me tell the Bharatiya Janata Party this thing very clearly, categorically, that we have more than a dozen leaders who are way more capable than Mr. Modi is, have a much better vision to offer to the country, have a much better developmental agenda to offer to the country, and would definitely not be doing no press conference for 9 long years, would definitely not be ignoring incidents such as Manipur for 77 long days, would definitely not be ignoring the incidents in Haryana for so many days and not even speak about it, wouldn't make sure that there is no debate and discussion happening over the bills that are passed to change the country.
A sharp pitch for leadership, a sharp narrative as far as leadership is concerned, and a sharp narrative as far as key issues are concerned. If any of these is fragmented for any political party, I don't think it's going to cut ties with the voters of India, who I agree are very smart ones. I want to bring in Mr. Riju Datta and Mr. Krishna Hegde into the discussion. Riju Datta, for a party like TMC, it is very difficult to accept the leadership of the Congress party, given your history of how the TMC evolved as a party, the role of the Congress party in the state of West Bengal, and even on various issues in the recent past, the TMC and the Congress party have not been on the same page. A leader like Mamata Banerjee, who's a mass leader, who's been elected with the historic mandate, would she be okay to accept the leadership, say, of a Nitish Kumar or Rahul Gandhi for that matter?
I want to be very blunt and straightforward. My leader, Mamata Banerjee, has stated very clearly that our minimum program is that everybody seems to be talking about is BJP Hatao, Desh Bachao. So for that, Mamata Banerjee has no greed for the chair or the position of the Prime Minister, and this is what she has said openly in public domain. So there is nothing to hide. We are going to give our 100% support to the India alliance, and we will make sure that BJP uses so that India can be saved. Now I have heard my counterpart, the BJP spokesperson, saying some, very strong words. The basic difference between India and BJP is India is not a bunch of sycophants. We have, like Ashwin said, we have many leaders who are much more capable. Point number one. Point number two. Yes, India votes for a strong leader, but India this time will vote for a leader who's not a liar. You remember those promises? बुलेट ट्रेन चलाएंगे, 2 करोड़ नौकरी देंगे, 2022 तक पक्के घर बना देंगे सबको, किसान की आय दुगनी करेंगे. So India does not have a leader who is a liar. Point number one. Point number two. For Raksha Bandhan, the Prime Minister said, I am reducing 200 rupees for gas cylinders. This is what a strong opposition in this country does to the ruling disposition. When India became strong, 200 rupees got reduced from the gas cylinder, and the benefit has directly gone to the common people. And I'm telling you, wait for the Mumbai summit, probably the petrol prices will also go down because they are rattled. Third, you say on Raksha Bandhan that Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and whatnot. India has reached the moon. Why hasn't the Prime Minister still couldn't find time or the guts to reach Manipur and get a Rakhi from the women and our sisters of Manipur? Is that not part of India? Last but not the least, when we have a weak Prime Minister, we become a weak nation. And why I'm saying that is because Prime Minister, after all his G20 and BRICS and whatnot summit, today the People's Republic of China has published a map where Arunachal Pradesh is in China. If this is what leadership is, I am sorry, I do not believe in that leadership. It's time for change. And like you said, Anusha, the people of this country are very intelligent. They know what is happening. They have burning issues of inflation and unemployment. And in 6 months, India will see a change in the leadership.
Well, who is a strong leader and who is not is a emotive, perceptive issue, also highly individual, who believes what. But if the electoral mandates are anything to go by, I think the answer is before us in the last 2 general elections, and all eyes on the third one. It's the big thing to watch out for. Keeping in mind the leadership question is going to be very important. Mr. Krishna Hegde, coming to you, there was a statement that was made by Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar, Aditya Thackeray. There were various leaders who were present in that crucial press conference that happened in Maharashtra today. And they once again reiterated that this is an alliance that has come together on key issues to save democracy. That is what that was asserted today. Do you think the leadership issue can be put on the back burner for some time and other things can be ironed out, and then this alliance might be able to present a more realistic option of a real alliance, an opposition alliance against the ruling government? Or you believe that this present alliance is not capable of ironing out its differences?
Anusha, this is a Fuski bomb. Fuski bomb. You know what is Fuski bomb? For 9 years, it has not blasted in any Diwali. Suddenly, they want to come together and say that we are going to do a big blast this year. And they say the Prime Minister is scared. That's why he reduced 200 rupees from the cylinder, prices. Next time, they'll claim that the Chandrayaan was also taken to the moon because of their pressure. So this is a very funny alliance, the Khichdi alliance. I wouldn't say take them lightly because in politics, we should not take anyone lightly. But the TMC spokesperson was saying liar and all these words. You know, what is Modi? Modi is Article 370. Modi is Ram Mandir. Modi is Uniform Civil Code. Modi is, rights for Muslim women. Modi is over 150 welfare schemes for the poor of India. So don't call anyone a liar without just, saying things like this. We know what the TMC has done. The TMC is the offshoot of the Congress only. And how they came into power, everything we know. So we don't want to get into this. But the important thing is, they were saying that we all want to be Prime Minister, we all want to be convener. And how many MPs has each of these parties? 1, 5, 4, 3, 9, 14. And how much single-handedly Modi ji has got twice the combined opposition. The entire opposition is 150 and Modi ji himself and BJP is 303. So obviously he's going to be our unanimous candidate.
On the numbers, I don't think anybody can contest
obviously
that.
He will be a unanimous candidate and all the parties want him. Nationally we want him, internationally we want him, and he's delivered the goods. And the people of India are looking at it for 2024. It's not what I think or the opposition thinks. The people of India want Narendra Modi ji back as the Prime Minister of India, and that is a fact. And all these things are not.
Yeah. Before I go to Shaina once again, Ashpreet, the Fuski bomb was what was said by Krishna Hegde, and he has said that, to put it more simply, he has argued that you have not delivered anything in the last 9 years. Suddenly you come up before the general elections and you argue, look, we can deliver this as a key opposition alliance with the key issues not being answered. It's nothing but a hoax.
Of course, he's right. We haven't delivered inflation like the BJP has. We haven't delivered unemployment like the Bharatiya Janata Party has. We haven't emanated poverty upon the country like the Bharatiya Janata Party has. We haven't just made excuses like the BJP does all the time, make false promises all the time. 15 lakh, 2 crore jobs a year, diesel petrol ke rate kam karenge, farmers income double karenge and whatnot. Nothing has been done by the Bharatiya Janata Party. But Anusha, there are two things that India will never ever see. One, dinosaurs, and second, Mr. Modi's press conference. Now, as far as accountability is concerned, answerability is concerned, is there any answer with the Bharatiya Janata Party or with Mr. Modi as to why does he not want to take questions of the people? I mean, we happen to be living in the world's largest democracy.
But you believe, Ashpreet, that can be an electoral issue? I'm not saying it's not an important question. It's an important question. And what would be better for journalists if the Prime Minister holds a press conference? But that's not the point here. Do you think that's an electoral issue? Do you think that's an issue? Do you think that's an issue you can take to the people and garner votes? Or you can garner votes if you have a strong leader and a strong face that you can project?
I'll tell you what, Anusha, I was coming to the point. I was going to connect it with the real issue. Now, this is Mr. Modi who doesn't do even a single press conference in 9 long years. But then, this is the face that the Bharatiya Janata Party and all the alliance partners in the N.D.A. that have to accept no matter what their reservations are, no matter who they want to be the PM face, they don't have a choice. They can't do anything. They cannot say anything. Otherwise, Mr. Advani,
No, but Ashpreet, I want to set a record straight here. I agree with the point of differences, debate, having... Yeah, I'll just come to you, Shaina ji. But, party... I'm sure you know the term called party whip. I'm sure you know the term called, United Alliance. I'm sure you know the term called, coming on the same page. When you run political parties, it's not like running a debate contest. It's a very different dynamic at play. And that dynamic requires everybody to be on the same table. It requires some tough decisions to be taken, and it also requires leadership posited as at a place where everybody can be on the same side. It does not require weak leadership and disagreements. That's the place it is. So I believe that entire argument about, look, we have disagreements and it's healthy and it's democratic, I think it's misplaced.
I think if the Bharatiya Janata Party would have given us a lecture upon what's required for an alliance to be there, they would have said dictatorship. They would have said, and I'd like to give an example also. They've been tom-tomming about, see how many parties are there with us in the N.D.A. I like to ask the BJP spokesperson, how many of them happen to be registered with the Election Commission of India, number one? Number two, how many of them happen to have even one MP? The gentleman who was asking me a question that you have some parties who have 10 MPs, some 15, some this, some that. Well, in the NDA, there are so many parties that do not even have a single MP. So the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to have a look in the mirror and then should come and question us, should give up their double standards.
Well, I'll take that question to Shaina and see, but if the Congress party had got the numbers that the BJP has right now, you wouldn't require an alliance partners.
Yeah.
I believe it's as simple.
You
Shaina, but
wouldn't
go ahead, make your
require an
point.
alliance.
Yeah, go ahead, make your point. Shaina.
I mean, they wouldn't, the Congress party, if they had our numbers, they wouldn't require an alliance to start with. The fact that they are being reduced to a regional party is something they should soul search and introspect on. Do understand that 2024 is not just an election about progressive democracy, but it is also about a statesman and a leader called Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who has done India proud. All this tom-tomming that, oh, we have not done anything. You have not done anything because the people have voted you out. The BJP has won election after election. Our vote share has increased even in states where we have not come to power. We have still got an increase in the vote share. The fact is that today the Bharatiya Janata Party is the largest political party in the world with 11.5 crore progressive members, people who are working tirelessly for this agenda of a united India, sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas, sabka vishwas. Now, what on the other hand does the I.N.D.I.A stand for? It stands for nothing but the corrupt. It's a comedy of errors. You have one pitch for Mr. Rahul Gandhi, somebody else talking about Nitish Kumar, somebody else in their dreams talking about Uddhav Thackeray, somebody else saying that no, we want Mamta Banerjee. Please first decide who is your convener.
No, but China, it has been said various times by the TMC and the Congress
of a vision plan. That is your own problem.
BJP is rattled. BJP is rattled, and that is something they are repeatedly saying. And in fact, the LPG prices have been reduced because there's a meeting which is about to happen in Mumbai. Respond to that as well, please.
Anusha, if LPG prices are reduced, this is not an answer to I.N.D.I.A. This is our commitment to the people of India. The Prime Minister, what has he done with Ujjwala? That is a commitment to the women of India. 370 is a commitment not just to Kashmir and Jammu, but to the people of India and our security. When you talk about, triple talaq, it is a commitment to the women of India and their dignity. When you talk about a uniform civil code, it is a vision plan. You talk about Ram Mandir, it is a consensus, which is the belief of crores of Indians. All these points are not something that the voter is going to undermine. And the voter of India, you're right, is extremely intelligent. So hold your horses. The numbers that you see on your screen, you talk about 330. We hope to cross 350. And we hope that the people of India will stand with accountability, transparency, rather than the corrupt that are here only for the lust for power. They have united themselves with no vision plan, with no able leader, and no unifying force. So the less said, the better. Having said that, do we want an opposition in our country? Yes, we do. But not at the cost of people who are only corrupt and sitting only for the lust for power. Do some good work. Have a vision for your fellow countrymen. And if not, you have doomed already before you started.
Mr. Riju Datta, coming to that point, and I'm going to just move forward from the question of leadership. Let's come to seat sharing, which is the moot issue if you want to fight elections together. TMC, the I.N.D.I.A party, they have a direct political contest with a party like the Congress party. The Congress party, one of the largest parties in this alliance, and trying to play, the elder brother and trying to get everyone together. We have seen Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi attending those meetings. So, for a party like TMC, in the state of West Bengal, where you're relatively strong, would you be willing to cede any kind of space to the Congress party? Or in states like, say, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, where the Congress party is relatively stronger and you want to contest seats, would the Congress give you that space? It seems very unlikely, because the kind of positions that we have seen on various issues from the TMC, Congress, or even the I.N.D.I.A party, it's completely at loggerheads. I can't fathom a situation where you would have some kind of a seat sharing agreement. We saw that spat between the AAP and the Congress party a few days ago that had happened here in the national capital. And I don't believe that TMC is on any different footing. Mr. Riju Datta.
Let me be very clear on this. There is already a decision. The formal decision will be made and it will come out in the public domain after the meetings are over and the leaders will announce it. But the informal decision is that every party that is strong in their own bastion, that has already got a track record of defeating or thrashing BJP in elections, will be given priority. Now, this seat sharing thing has been made a big issue by the BJP because they are so scared of the fact, scared of India. But I want to say it on record that the seat sharing will be, on one hand it will be BJP, on other hand it will be India. And India, I mean, it will be Congress and the regional party together will contest against BJP. So, what will be the exact numbers? That time will say. But let me also give a certain rebuttal to the other spokespersons of BJP. The gentleman from Shiv Sena said, oh, 370, this, that. Yes, but also, sir, you should remember that you belong from Maharashtra and Shiv Sena. Narendra Modi ji also delivered Ajit Pawar, who you said was the most corrupt man in the country. And Shaina ji was mentioning Ram Mandir, trust and faith of 140 crore Indians. Well, as per the CAG report, BJP stole from the Ayodhya Development Trust. Trinamool is not saying, CAG report is saying. तो आप प्रभु राम से चोरी भी करेंगे और प्रभु राम को फिर इलेक्शन में भी लड़वाएंगे. You took the hand of Hanuman ji in Bangalore. The Pradhan Mantri said, I'm not saying.
I cannot individually verify the facts that you're stating on record. These are serious charges that you're putting. Shaina, would you want to come on record? Is there a CAG report? Mr. Krishna Hegde first, then I go to Shaina and see. Yes.
See, there is a CAG report on 12,000 crores corruption. What happened during the Uddhav Thackeray regime. There is also a 4,500 crore corruption charge on the handling of the COVID in the Mumbai Municipal Corporation under the leadership of Uddhav Thackeray and the N18L government. So our government is investigating it. There is obviously, but it is on them. And you are talking about Ajit Pawar, the TMC honorable spokesperson. Tell me one charge sheet which is on Ajit Dada's name. Another thing I want to tell you, they keep saying ED and CBI and all. They had a government just 1 year ago. There were 170 plus MLAs with them. Today they are not even 70. 100 MLAs, over 100 MLAs have crossed the floor and come over to our side and formed the government with us.
Okay.
So is it our fault?
I have last 2 minutes on the show. Shaina, a quick response from you and I'll take closing comments from Harshpreet.
I just want to say that, what one saw in Bihar, in Patna, what one saw in Bengaluru, or what one's going to see in Mumbai is hardly the issue. The issue is, who does the voter trust? The voter trusts only Narendra Modi ji and the Bharatiya Janata Party. The numbers that we have seen 2014, 2019 and what we will see in 2024, Anusha, I can say with absolute confidence and utmost humility, is going to be a testimony, a mandate for stability, for strong leadership and for a progressive agenda. That agenda percolates down to 160 welfare schemes. Labhartis who have benefited in every segment, be it tribals, women, senior citizens, girl child, the list is endless. We are here to work for the people of India. Others are here for theatrics, for their own media management and their own kind of positioning to say that they are a united force. I want to say a united force for what? We are a united force to fight the corrupt and to bring India as a superpower, which the Prime Minister will do. I'm
giving Harshpreet the closing comments, and Harshpreet, the people of this country want to know that when that meeting happens in Mumbai and you're shaping an opposition alliance for 1 billion plus Indians in the world's largest democracy, what can we expect from that meeting? The question of leadership is important, common issues are important. Is there a common minimum program? Are there common agendas that can be agreed upon? Will there be a convener of this I.N.D.I.A who's going to be appointed? Are we going to get answers on any of these key deliverables or the tangibles?
Thank you very much. Definitely, I've already made it crystal clear in the second segment that everything would be done on and before time. The Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't have to be rattled with it. But the fact of the matter is, the BJP spokesperson said Congress has been reduced to a regional party. I think she should get her facts straight, because it's Bharatiya Janata Party that has been ousted from Himachal, that has been ousted from Karnataka, and that is going to be ousted from the Lok Sabha election, the central government in 2024. Number two, she said the Bharatiya Janata Party has done India proud. How? Global Hunger Index, Freedom of Press Index, the value of rupee against dollar. That's how you've done India proud. Number three, you see, in the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Arshpreet, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but you have to answer the questions I asked you, not just to answer the BJP or your political opponents. People want to know what is this alliance going to deliver when the Mumbai meet happens. So tell us what we can expect, tell us what's on the agenda, and what are the things that the alliance partners are hoping for.
See, like I said, there would be a common minimum program. There would be seat sharing. There would be a decision of who are going to be the designation holders, what designation the leaders will hold, who's going to be the convener. Everything would be decided. However, the Bharatiya Janata Party, did say one thing, that we do not have any confusion about who's going to be the PM face. We don't have confusion either. However, we want everybody to take a collective decision. We do not want to shove it down the throat of the people. And in the BJP and in the N.D.A, nobody can say they want to be the PM face, or that individual can be the PM face, because they do not want to be another.
But Arshpreet, that's a question of numbers. I think that's a question of numbers. If the Congress party had the largest numbers, then of course, even if you were to form an alliance, the Prime Minister face would be from the Congress party.
Then I think
it all boils down to the numbers. It's not a philosophical question. No, the point of haven't you been in alliance? Hasn't the Congress party run two successive governments?
If the BJP is so sure, if the BJP is this sure, why do they have an alliance in the first place?
Well, the alliance can be. Come on, Arshpreet, you're a political party spokesperson.
All sections of society.
Yes, Mr. Hegde, go ahead, make your point. I don't want to answer that question on behalf of any political party.
See, the BJP could have done it on its own. The BJP has taken all its old allies together. We are with the BJP for the last 25 years in an alliance, and the BJP want to take all sections of society together. And that's why they have a national alliance.
I do feel the question of leadership, the question of tangibles have been convoluted
then why
to
not
be.
give them the chance? Give them the chance to be the PM. No, give them representation.
So Arshpreet, you are saying if you had 300 plus seats, one second. Arshpreet,
you're talking Arshpreet.
One second, Mr. Hegde, one second. Mr. Hegde, one second.
The objective of alliance, they say the objective of alliance is to give representation. Then why do you not have any Muslims in the cabinet?
Don't shift the paradigms here. Don't shift paradigms here. Mr. Hegde, one second. Mr. Hegde, one second. Arshpreet, if the Congress party had say more than 250 plus seats in Lok Sabha, would you be willing to give the chair of the Prime Minister to any other political party? A yes or no question and a simple question.
Number one, no, it's not about yes or no.
It is a yes and no question.
1 second, please. The gentleman said, when I asked him, then if you think you're so good and you have the numbers, why do you have to have an alliance? The gentleman said to give representation. Now, if you really want to give representation, why can't somebody else be the face of the party? Number two, why do you not have any Muslims in the cabinet?
So UPA. One second. Arshpreet, my last attempt to get an answer.
Power. You're not coming to power, so it's just going to be a.
All right, Mr. Riju, one second, one at a time. Mr. Riju Datta has a point to make. Let him make his point. Mr. Riju Datta.
With all due respect to our alliance partner Congress and the spokesperson Ashwin, every cadre, every member of every political party will want their leader to get the prime ministerial post. It is very normal. Shaina ji will want Modi ji. I will want, as emotionally as a party cadre, I will want Mamta ji. Krishna ji will want Devendra Fadnavis or Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar. And it is quite normal for Congress also to want Rahul Gandhi. But in the India faction, because we are not a bunch of sycophants, we will decide the
sycophancy, who's a sycophant and who's not, in all honesty, is a question where it's an individual issue, how you perceive it. There is no data through which you can really establish that. But I do believe as an observer that you will have to counter the question of leadership. It is the most dominant question for this alliance. I thank you all for joining us on the broadcast. Shaina, NC and Arshpreet, I believe, will continue to stay with us. There's a piece of breaking news coming in, and this is about the Congress party, the grand old party. deleting the logo for India meeting, the I.N.D.I.A meeting. There was a picture that was put out that had Rahul Gandhi right in the front, and all the key leaders, the chief ministers, the regional satraps, their faces were behind. Now they have put out a new photo of all the chief ministers together and Rahul Gandhi in the front. That picture has been done away with. That's the bit of breaking news which is coming in right now, and this piece of information only tells us that even within the opposition ranks, they might want to underplay that question or say that, look, it's not important right now. It's a very touchy, it's a very sensitive issue, and at all points when this alliance really meets, whenever there's a meeting, how it's projected, who's projected as a leader is going to be very, very critical and important. Pallavi is with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, why the change of that photograph? What does it tell us?
So as we have been reporting since morning, the earlier poster showed Rahul Gandhi right at the front, Ajit Pawar was missing, and then you had all the other senior leaders almost in the background and very small of them. That has certainly not gone down well, because that pushes a narrative which shows that, Congress wants to occupy the main space and trying to project Rahul Gandhi as the PM face. So that has been removed, but in its place it's interesting that a new one has come up in which only the chief ministers of all the states which are a part of the India Fund are in that. And therefore, it wants to avoid any controversy, and it also makes the point that all of them are equal and just any of them can become a contender for the top job.
Pallavi, thank you so much for putting that in perspective. We'll continue talking about this alliance, the key meeting, what the BJP says, and the run-up to 2024. On the other side of a very quick break, here is another big story. Whether it's about the Gruhalakshmi scheme in the state of Karnataka or various doles or subsidies that have been rolled out by the centre, including the cut in the LPG prices or the LPG subsidy that has been announced, a new wave of politics seemed to be emerging ahead of 2024. Some call it welfare schemes. The political opponents would call it the reverie culture. What exactly it is, and is it really financially and economically responsible steps that an elected government should really take? That on the other side.
But for now, what we can tell you is that several holidays have been changed, have been cancelled. In fact, either they've been completely cancelled or some of them, the duration has been changed by the state government. They say this is all in accordance with the law. In fact, this is in accordance with the Right to Education Act, which stipulates that a certain number of days have to be functional as far as government schools go. It varies between 200 days to 220 days depending on the class that the student is in. Those changes have now been made, which has triggered furor both among the teacher community as well as in the opposition in the state of Bihar. We will try and get more reactions coming to the fore from parents and students alike as well. But now we have a first reaction that has come to the fore from the Bihar government over this entire furor that has been triggered by this decision. The Bihar government, of course, going on to justify the decision that has been taken by them over the changes in the holiday calendar for government schools. Listen in to this reaction coming in.
200 रुपया सिलेंडर के दाम कम कर देने से भाजपा का टीआरपी बढ़ने वाला है। 200 सिलेंडर का दाम बंद किया और 23 जून से मनरेगा के मजदूरी नहीं मिल रहा है। गिरिराज बाबू दूसरा सवाल पर बोल रहे हैं, उनसे पूछिए कि प्रधानमंत्री आवास 3 साल से क्यों नहीं मिला बिहार के लोगों को। उनसे पूछिए कि मनरेगा का 1100 करोड़ बकाया है, क्या है, काहे नहीं मिल रहा है, आप ही तो उसके मंत्री हैं। तो ये सब बात पर वो बोलते नहीं है, जिससे गरीब लोग की भलाई हो सके। गरीब लोग मर रहा है, परेशान हो रहा है और तरह के बात।
यहाँ बात आस्था की है और शिक्षक भी नाराज हैं और कहा जा रहा है कि हिंदू के पर्वों पे ही ये छुट्टियाँ क्यों लागू हुई।
अब भाई हिंदू मुस्लिम कुछ थोड़ी हो रहा है। राज्य की तरक्की की बात हम कर रहे हैं, राज्य में अमन की बात कर रहे हैं, शांति की बात कर रहे हैं, भाईचारा की बात कर रहे हैं। अब भाजपा इधर उधर की बात घुमाते रहती है, तो भाजपा की इधर उधर घुमाने से देश घूमेगा। अब ये जाने वाले हैं इनका आखिरी टाइम है।
कहा जा रहा है कि जैसे छठ वगैरह की छुट्टियां होती हैं जिसमें औरतों
बहुत बोल चुके हैं, बहुत नहीं कुछ कर सकते। बता दिया कि बिहार के गरीबों के लिए जो मजदूर है उसके पेट में रोटी के लिए इनके पास पैसा नहीं है, और ये छुट्टी की बात कर रहे हैं और दूसरा सवाल उठा रहे हैं। उनसे पूछिए कि ये जो 23 जून से मनरेगा के मजदूरों का मजदूरी भुगतान नहीं हुआ, कब हुआ? भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोगों से पूछिए। ये भारत सरकार पैसा देती है, ये केंद्र प्रायोजित योजना है मनरेगा, कब पैसा मिलेगा? ये इसका सवाल पूछिए। ये इसका सवाल पर क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं? छुट्टी होगा कि नहीं होगा ये तो सरकार तय करती है, जब सरकार तय करेगी उसके हिसाब से काम।
सरकार का फैसला है या एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट का?
अब ये फैसला सरकार के लेवल पर ही होता है ना।
This decision has been taken with due diligence. There's absolutely no reason why questions need to be raised, is the argument that comes to the fore from the Bihar government. The JDU justifying why this decision has been taken by the state government, even accusing the BJP of raising needless political issues. Why don't you speak about the inflation? Why don't you speak about what the poor in this country are facing, is the retort that has come to the fore from the Bihar government, from the JDU specifically, as far as this entire controversy is concerned. Remember, there are two sides to this controversy. One is the political one, the BJP, of course, raising questions. The other is the furor that has sparked among the teachers of these government schools, who are also now having to deal with increased number of working days. Saurabh, my colleague, now joining us, getting us the latest on this. Saurabh, the state government is very, very clear that they are well within their rights to take this decision. It is, in fact, as per the RTE that they've done so, and this political controversy is needless.
Yes, but on the other hand, the coalition partner RJD is giving different statements, and it's saying that it's the directive given by the education department. ACS KK Pathak has given, but it is the government who is responsible for deciding the leaves of the government employees of the state. And now the statement coming out from JDU minister, he is saying that it was a collective decision taken by the state government, and it was not just education department's decision. So again, the different controversial lines coming out from both the coalition partners, but the fact here is that around 14 leaves have been cancelled out of 25 in the state, and the teachers are anguished in the state. The teachers are saying that they are going to protest against this directive, and they are going to sit on dharna, and also they are going to stop teaching children till this order is rolled back. So this has not only created political uproar in the state, also the teachers are anguished about it, and because it's a matter of the festivals which are very important, especially in Bihar, festivals like Chhat, Jitiya, Teej. These festivals are meant for mostly women, and they have to stay at home and they have to keep fast. So more than a couple of days are needed for this festival. Earlier, the schedule that was given for the leaves, it had 5 to 7 leaves, especially in Durga Puja, Chhat. They had around a week's holiday, but now those leaves have been cut to 2 or 3 days. So again, this has sparked a row, and we have heard BJP leaders, they are blaming that again Nitish Kumar and coalition government is playing appeasement politics, because no leaves have been cancelled as far as Muslim festivals are concerned. So this has again taken appeasement politics angle to the story, and whereas we see the RJD and JDU, they are on defensive mode, and they are protecting the directive that has been given by the education department. Back to you, Poonam.
Right, the politics aside though, Saurabh, we've seen protests coming to the fore from different parts of the state, from the teachers community as well. They too have been caught off guard with this entire decision. So how is that?
Welcome back, and another crucial story on Viewpoint tonight, and this is perhaps a narrative which is going to dominate as we take this step towards the 2024, the Lok Sabha elections. In the run-up to the crucial state elections earlier this year, and the big fight in the Lok Sabha polls, the welfare drive of different political parties has taken center stage once again, as in they try to woo the voters from Karnataka to the poll-bound states of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and even the key announcements that have been made by the centre. The aim seems to be, at least what is stated by the political parties, is financial assistance to the poorest of the poor. But it comes at great cost to the exchequer. While time and again, good politics is bad economics. getting the tag of reverie politics to buy the vote instead of a sound economic vision or a plan. The tactic is in the holster of every political party. But who draws the line between what is reverie and what is welfare? Because beyond politics, we have seen speed breakers in the rollout of such schemes due to lack of funds or poor implementation, with long-term adverse economic impacts on the financial health of various state governments, for example. So are such policies actually thought through to boost the status of poor in our country? Or is it a last-minute electoral move to save the political face? We debate that aspect on Viewpoint tonight.
Gift that goes out from the government, from the Honorable Prime Minister personally to all the sisters, 200 rupees cheaper for everyone. और जो DBT जो उज्ज्वला बेनिफिशियरी है, जो 9 करोड़ 60 लाख है कनेक्शन ऐसे, उनको तो 200 रुपए मिल ही रहा था, 200 रुपए और भी ऊपर से चीपर हो गया, 1100 से 900 हो गया।
LPG गैस की कीमतों में जो कमी की गई है, उसका लाभ गरीब बहनों को तो मिलेगा ही, लेकिन मध्यम वर्गीय बहनों भी उससे बहुत राहत महसूस करेंगी।
हर महीने करोड़ों महिलाओं को सीधे बैंक अकाउंट में 2000 रुपए मिलेंगे।
They are not very clear. How many applications have come? How many they have rejected? How many they have accepted? Reject for what? So ultimately, they have said that for everybody, APL, BPL and everybody except income tax paid, everybody. So let us see whether they will give to everybody.
Welfare or reverie? That's a question that must be answered on certain objective parameters. Economists have attempted to do that. Political parties define it as per their own convenience. Let's take that question to our guest as well. Shaina NC, the spokesperson of the BJP, Yash Srivastava, who's a spokesperson from the Congress party, Mr. B.S. Arun, who's a senior journalist, and Mr. Santosh Mehrotra, who's an economist, joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Yash, today was a big day in the state of Karnataka. And the Gruhalakshmi scheme that was launched, it comes at a huge cost to the state exchequer. And earlier we have seen that because of the promises or the freebies, as the BJP calls them, that have been implemented in the state, it has come to the cost of development, quote unquote. The government is on record to say that various development projects are likely to be affected because we have implemented these schemes. Is it good politics and bad economics for the state?
Anusha, first off, these schemes, as BJP likes to call it, reverie, freebies, I would want everyone to understand that these schemes are for the people, the very people standing last in the row in this country, who need this assistance to sustain, to grow, to evolve. Then if BJP likes to call it freebie, reverie and whatnot, I want to ask a few questions. First, why do they offer freebies? Why did Smriti Irani go and chant 13 rupees kilo shakkar pav when she was campaigning for elections? Why does Modi ji himself go and flag off several schemes? Why is it reverie for poor people and that big revla for Adani and other big corporates, that lakhs of crores of rupees loans were waived off? Why is that revla not in question? Then why do they not let us fail if freebies are for the bad? They stall our schemes in Karnataka by halting the supplies of rice when we announce Anna-Bhagya for the people of Karnataka.
Yeah.
So they should let us fail and then tell the world that look, this party failed, this government failed.
Is it sheer political convenience or opportunism that defines what is reverie and what is welfare? Because various similar schemes have been announced in a state like Madhya Pradesh as well, which is my home state. And even there, a lot of freebies are being doled out, which the government claims are welfare schemes. So where is the line and how does one really decide that?
First, let's talk about the LPG gas cylinders. You know, whenever people talked about Ujjwala, they always said, but oh, a gas cylinder costs more. Now, what has Hardeep Puri said? He has said clearly that 200 rupees would be reduced. What happens when that money is reduced? That directly impacts every citizen. Nobody is viewing where a gas cylinder is it in Karnataka, is it in Madhya Pradesh, where it is. Ujjwala is a welfare scheme which percolates down to the not just the health of a woman, but also the existence of the chula, which is the house. You talk about schemes like Gruhalakshmi. If this is not poll bound and poll kind of a lollipop where you're giving freebies, subsidies, SOPs, you're giving 2,000 rupees and the cost is 30,000 crores per year. Does the Karnataka government really have this money to give? You talk about Ladli Behna. I want to contradict what a lot of people have said, because this is for underprivileged women. This directly percolates down to the poorest of poor. Now, if you look at the welfare schemes of Prime Minister Modi, whether it is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, whether it is an Ayushman Bharat, a Jan Dhan Yojana, Mudra Banking, the list is endless, because we have over 740 schemes which percolate down as central schemes to every single state. This is to empower the downtrodden. If you're going to only have, like what Mr. Arvind Kejriwal did, which is give free electricity, free this, free that, you are getting people to be parasites. We want to empower people, and how do you empower people? You can only empower them. Let me first, sir, I didn't interrupt, I didn't interject even once.
No, one at a time. Let Shaina NC finish her argument, then I have to bring the two other gentlemen into the discussion. 30 seconds to you, Shaina ji.
Anusha, what one has seen in Karnataka is nothing but a glorified bribe. You have people and political power in the south where they've distributed from phones to, all kinds of electronics.
But there are various schemes in Madhya Pradesh as well that have been started. There was allowances that were given to women in the state of Madhya Pradesh as a Rakhi gift by the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister.
No. A welfare scheme which works throughout year after year and is only improvised to cater to every single state and every citizen is something that has to be viewed as a progressive step. In a state which is poll bound and where you are giving
I have to bring in other guests also into the discussion. Mr. B.S. Arun, Mr. Santosh Mehrotra.
Okay, go ahead.
Is there really a standard to decide what is a welfare scheme / what is reverie, what is really required and necessary, and what is a mere political gimmick? I'll ask Mr. B.S. Arun to make his comments first.
Very good.
Well, first of all,
Mr. B.S. Arun, can I have you, and then I'll go to Mr. Santosh Mehrotra.
Yeah, first of all, the Karnataka schemes were announced at the time of elections, and so are the Madhya Pradesh schemes. I think the Chief Minister announced just about 3-4 days back one more scheme. And all these are definitely aimed at the incoming elections. But then, there is a difference in the sense that it is not color TV sets or free telephones that are distributed, which can be called revenues. But these are schemes which are aimed at empowerment and welfare, which are going to go a long way in changing the spending patterns of the different families, especially those below the poverty line. In Karnataka, we have seen, I think that it has drawn a good reaction from various beneficiaries across, gender or the age limits. So I think when a government implements this, and it's going to go a long way, but what is worrying is that the kind of impact it may have on the state exchequer, because in Karnataka this year, state government has said it won't give the local area development fund for the MLAs.
So the development is directly impacted, and that's the key point I was coming to. That how do you really draw the line, Mr. Mehrotra? I'm sorry, you were interrupted. You were making a point, but I reiterate the moot question here that political parties, depending on their convenience, can call it reverie or a welfare scheme. But are there real parameters that exist in the world of economics or in the world of finance to understand that what is really required? I remember this debate had once reached the Supreme Court. And the apex court said that, look, in law and in constitution, there is nothing that the courts can do. And there is no definition that exists that defines what a welfare scheme really is. I'll come to you, Shaina ji. Let Mr. Mehrotra make his arguments. I'll come back to you and give you the closing comments. Mr. Mehrotra, please go ahead.
Anusha, I think you deserve to be congratulated by raising the foundational question of at what cost are these offerings being made to the population, whether it is by one party's government or the other party's government. The fact of the matter is that you pointed to at the cost of development or not. So let's just look at the cost to development. Because the central government has actually increased its handouts rather significantly over the last 8 or 9 years, despite the fact that the health expenditure to GDP in the country is one of the lowest in the world. It has, under this government, gone from 1.1% of GDP to merely 1.3% of GDP, despite the central government actually announcing a national health policy in 2017, where it is promised that by 2025, the government's health expenditure, state and center taken together, will be 2.5% of GDP. So in other words, even during COVID, it has not gone up, despite this is point one.
Yeah.
And a similar thing can be pointed out about education. Education expenditure in this country has, for the last 8 or 9 years, not gone up beyond 2.9% of GDP. At least sort of 15 years ago, it used to be in the region of 4% of GDP. 4% of GDP. So there is a real issue.
Mr. Mehrotra, I believe you raised two very important issues. That yes, we want we want welfare schemes in this country, but health and education, we shouldn't look at ignore those two parameters and then keep them also into context. I have last 2 minutes, and I want to give that to the BJP and Congress for closing comments. Shaina NC, first to you, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Anusha, I just have 2 points to make.
Sure.
When our Prime Minister says that he wants to empower people, he talks about 3 fundamentals. One is safety, security, education, and that then a person should be financially empowered so they can take care of themselves. Do we want to do what the Congress has done to our government, to our people of India? They have only given freebies, subsidies, SOPs. And at what expense is the question? If you have a scheme like this in Karnataka just before elections and you're giving out 2,000 rupees, welcome, but do you have the money? This is 32,000 crores. Where is this money coming from?
I'm short of time, Shaina ji, that's why I'm interrupting you.
Only going to
closing comments from Yash Srivastav as well from to the Congress party. Yash, do you really have the money? I believe in the state of Karnataka, as I said earlier, the government is on record to say that we cannot release the local development funds. So it's not an overstretch argument when I say that, look, these welfare schemes, quote unquote, are coming at the cost of development. Interesting points raised on the health and education front as well. Would you want to answer on those criticisms?
Yes. First off, much of our money is held by BJP in form of areas, various GSTs and whatnot. So there is probably nowhere, no one has money except BJP. Then about development schemes, for BJP, development is only spreading contracts to their favorite friends. For us, development includes health, education, society, humanity and harmony. No, don't interrupt me, Shaina ji.
What are you talking about?
This
well, I believe that's all the time. That's all the time that I have, and political doublespeak will exist as far as welfare politics is concerned. And we do need to have a more informed debate and discussion about what is welfare scheme and what is exactly reverie culture in this country, because that's the need of the hour. And in the run-up to the Lok Sabha election and assembly elections as well, it's going to dominate the discourse. It's a wrap on this edition. Shivani Gupta joins you with Plain Speak.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Third meeting of the India bloc is happening in Mumbai from tomorrow, and top opposition leaders have already begun landing in the city. Ahead of this meeting, another round of one-upmanship was visible in the open, with each party trying to project their leader as the biggest face of this alliance. Now, sources tell CNN News 18 that Congress wants Rahul Gandhi to be projected as the prime ministerial candidate from the opposition. A fight could break out not just on the biggest face or the PM face, but even the convener of the alliance, on which there doesn't seem to be much consensus. The I.N.D.I.A party wants Kejriwal. Uddhav team obviously is projecting him as the biggest face that can lead this alliance. On the other hand, in Bihar, JDU is fighting for the convener post for Nitish Kumar. While they may deny it publicly, sources do suggest that Nitish is upset that his demand is not being met. In fact, Congress is against the idea of a single convener, we are told, as that one person could then be pitched as the direct challenger for Narendra Modi. Needless to say, even before they get down to the nitty-gritties of seat sharing and choosing their candidates against the BJP candidate, the bloc has many hurdles to cross. It may be a compromise to not project anyone, but can they agree on that? And will it be better for the alliance to not announce any PM face or hurt the alliance given that they're fighting a leader who continues to be hugely popular? Is it possible for the India alliance to succeed in 2024 without a PM face? And who will that be? We'll take that important question to our guests in just a bit. But first up, a poster war erupted earlier after Congress party uploaded an image of the India leaders with Rahul Gandhi as